You know, I've always liked to invent things. Approximately 21 years ago, I came down with a pneumococcal bacterial infection, and that got into my bloodstream. As a result, both of my legs below the knees were amputated, all of my fingers and half of my thumbs. Always had model train layouts around Christmas time since I was a kid. This started out, you know, about 18 years ago. When I was building this, I never had anything in mind, any particular, you know, section or scene. I just started with pieces that I had, and my goal was to create like a little town that would be representative of something that you would find in anywhere in America in like the 40s and 50s. And I've tried to keep it in that time frame with the vehicles and the people and some of the buildings and such. The way I built this, it's basically started out with flat areas and then used foam to get the elevations. Some of the other scenery was made with sculpting styrofoam. My intentions were to create life as it would have been, you know, in the 40s and 50s. You know, people have asked me, do I have a name for this? And if I had to say anything, I would call it a simpler time. And as you look around on this layout, there's a whole lot of different little scenes. You know, we have people playing checkers, or you know, there's children playing. And if you just sit back and you can almost envision you know, what life was back then. That was my intent in building this. The rolling stack is probably 20-25 years old. I said a lot of this stuff I had as a child. Some of the buildings I've kind of modified a little bit. There's some scratch-built pieces in here that I had designed. The one piece that I did do in its entirety was I had built the stockyards, and that was all just scratch-built out of the plastic stock. The entire layout is DC. There's 3 main tracks, and then there's the different sidings and offsets where we have various trains, and you know, depending on what we want to do, we can, you know, bring out different locomotives or cars. It's just a lot of patience with doing this. A lot of stuff was done with tweezers, and a lot of times I would drop stuff and have to redo it. Getting back to be able to do things and live in, you know, a world that really wasn't user-friendly for me, I had to think about a lot of things. And one of the things that I thought about was the old cartoon, The Coyote and the Roadrunner. And the coyote has always been like an inspiration to me from the standpoint that he has a goal, and no matter what obstacles are thrown in his way, he steps back and approaches it from a different angle. And that's kind of like the way I've learned to live my life, is as I come up against an obstacle, instead of just giving up, it may take days, weeks, even months to figure out how to do something, but you know, this is what I've come up with. My name is Cusimano, and this is my layout.